Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Restore Her podcast. I am your host, Cheryl Lacey Donovan, and we are glad that you have joined us here today. We have been interviewing some of the guest speakers for our Restore Her virtual summit, and today's guest is none other than Jennifer Hayes. Jennifer is a relationships expert, so she's going to be talking to us a little bit from the pillar of Restore Her relationships. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So listen, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay. Well, you said my name. I'm Jennifer J. Hayes, and I am a matchmaker, certified matchmaker and relationship expert and dating coach. Currently right now for South Carolina matchmakers. We're based out of the Southeast, but I'm based in Houston, and so I do a lot of my relationship coaching in Houston, and the matchmaking is done in, like I said, South Carolina. So we're in Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, Columbia, Aiken, Charleston, and I've been doing it for almost 23 years now. So I've been dealing with relationships and helping people find love and becoming successful, with marriage and whatever their relationship goals is. I've been doing it for over 23 years.
So that's an interesting area to be in. How did you find yourself becoming a relationships expert and the way you put it, a matchmaker?
Mm-hmm. I was just finishing up my degree from the University of Houston. I have a background, my master's in clinical psychology, and I honestly got laid off from Compact Computers and kind of landed into this job. My goal was, to be a therapist and not go this route, but I started working for Together Dating Service here in Houston, and I never looked back. I've worked with several different, agencies and finally found a home with South Carolina matchmakers, and it's just something that just really spoke to who I was, helping people find love and their true passion in relationships, and it's just something that I've always loved, and I stayed with it forever. So
wow.
I enjoy doing it, and it's very rewarding, and the coaching is even a bigger reward with helping people really kind of maneuver their journey, because it's a process and it's a journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. What does that process look like? I'm thinking, when I hear the word matchmaker, I'm thinking eHarmony and, places like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, with eHarmony and anything that you find online, that's online dating, and with us, it's one-on-one. So what would happen is if you were seeking out a matchmaker, we get average or clients from different places. So you would either have filled out one of our advertisements online, or looked us up to seek out a matchmaker. So you fill out your information, and what your information would consist on is what you're looking for, what you're not looking for, maybe some avenues that you've tried, and just a little bit about your past. And then what would happen is you come in and you meet with us face-to-face. We set up you do a little phone interview, but then we also set up a face-to-face meeting that takes anywhere from 90 minutes to 3 hours, where we talk we talk about you get to know us, we find out what you're looking for, and see if it's a good fit for you. And if you decide to move forward with the program, then you would join, and then you would have a matchmaker now, and then also a relationship coach, which I would be your relationship coach and help you, along the journey. So it's a filtering process, and the difference between us and online dating is anyone can put their information online. You can be whoever you want to be, but then a lot of times when you meet that person, they're not really who they say they are. So it's scary for a lot of people to do that. With us, we do background checks and we screen everybody, so we're a filtering process.
Okay. That is extremely interesting. So I know that in your role as a relationship coach, you come across lots of different couples, and you, I'm sure, talk about the various impacts that relationship has on the individual. So what are some of the things that you see most often, particularly when you think about reasons why someone would even come to a relationship coach in the first place?
There are different reasons. I have clients that were maybe married for, 50 years and they lost their spouse a few years ago. Because I also, that's one of my expertise is I deal with, widows. And they want to know it's a new life for them. So it's like, what do I do now? Now that I'm dating and I'm back out there, what do I do now? And so I helped them with the process. How do I start this journey? How do I begin? And just, getting over the initial, things that they deal with as a widow, whether it's feeling like, I'm cheating or by moving forward, or if they can do this, or if a lot of times clients that, were married for 40 or 50 years, they dated how many decades ago? Now it's a completely different playing field. It's completely different. So they want to know, what do I do, on a date, or what do I say, or how do I communicate? And then I have some clients that come to me that are dealing with maybe some patterns within their dating process that they want to change. So they want to, coaching, what it does is it helps you bring your best self to the date, and it gets the most out of what you're doing. If you're putting your all in it, it's no different than if you went to a gym and you have a personal trainer approach you and, to let you know that I can help you fine tune. You might know how to use the treadmill, but I'm going to show you, and we're going to work out a plan so that we can make the most of your workout, and we can get you your end result. And that's what I do, is we're going to set up a plan, set up a goal, figure out how to get there, and I'm going to make sure that I encourage you along the way and help you get to your goal.
Okay. So then the coaching is a little bit different than if someone went for relationship counseling, because counseling a lot of times it's more of advice, but through the coaching, you kind of allow them to help in the process of setting up a plan.
Absolutely. Right. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to work with what we have and make it better. A lot of times with the counseling, they're trying to fix the problems that happened, and that's not something that we really do in coaching.
Okay. So what types of issues do you deal with primarily? I know you said with the widow, times they've been married, now they're a widow, they're trying to figure out what they need to do within the dating field and that kind of thing, but do you ever have couples that maybe come to you that have maybe gone through counseling already, and now they just kind of need somebody to help point them in the right direction with regards to moving forward so that they can have the best relationship possible?
Absolutely. And it's the same thing with that. I think that a lot of times if they've tried relationship counseling and it hasn't worked, that they do seek out a coach, because it's just a completely different approach. It's more of where we know what has happened in the past. Now, how do we make it better? How can we make our relationship better? And I have, couples that, have just lost the initial spark that they had, and how do we rebuild that? And again, we set up a plan and teach them how to move forward in their relationship. Whether it's better communicating, whether it's creating a better bond, whether it's now that our kids have moved out of the house, we did everything was revolved around our children. So where do we go now that we're empty nesters? So there's a lot of different aspects for couples. Couples that maybe we're dealing with a sickness or a loss. Recently, I have a couple that came to me that was dealing with the loss of a child, and that's a hard one. And how to stay connected during that. So there's a lot of different reasons somebody would come and seek out a coach. And it's not because there's anything wrong with them. It's because they want to sometimes better their situation or better themselves.
Mm-hmm. So I know you're going to join us for the virtual summit, and you'll be talking about relationships. Is there a particular title for the presentation that you will be giving us, and can you give us some hints as to what you're sharing with us today?
Absolutely. So my segment that I'm going to do is called, Loving Big, and that's going to be a spinoff of my book, which is Love Big or Be Single. But what it is I'm going to talk about relearning what you were taught about love, your first intimate relationship that you had with your family and your parents. It's so important to where you are right now in your relationship. And I'm going to talk about, after the vows, a lot of times we think, okay, now we're married. And, the work stops. And that, to me, is where the work begins. So we're going to talk about, we're going to touch a little bit on that. it's just talking about loving big and putting your all in it. We do this with everything else in life. We do it with our children. We do it with our education. We do it with our spiritual connection with God. But when it comes to love, we're kind of just taught, we're taught just wait and it's going to happen or it's going to work itself out, and we don't put forth the same type of effort. So I want to encourage people to do that. If they want a strong relationship, if they want their relationship to grow, put everything out there that you the same way that you do with everything else, and watch it flourish and watch it grow. And that's what I want to show people how to do.
You mentioned your book, so go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about that. And once you've given us a little insight into the book, let us know how we can get in touch with you or contact you if we want you to come out and speak, and how we can get a copy of the book.
Okay, so Love Big or Be Single is my third book that I'm currently working on. And loving big means caring about it more than others think is wise, risking it more than others think is safe, wanting it more than others think is practical, and expecting it more than others think is possible or end up single. It will be out at the end of the year, and you'll be able to go to Amazon or Google or Barnes & Nobles, anywhere you purchase a book and pick it up, along with my other books that I have. I have 2 other books, but they are a fictional romance, so completely different from the book that I'm writing now. But it's about my trials and tribulations with the relationships, and also just my matchmaking experience. So it's going to give you insight. There's also going to be a section in there for somebody that's been divorced, somebody that's widowed, currently married, currently seeking a relationship. So it's going to have a lot of different sections and a lot of self-help in there for relationships.
Well, great. And how can we get in contact with you?
Okay, you can go to my website, JenniferJHayes.com. You can also find me on SouthCarolinaMatchmakers.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook, on any of my social media. I'm Jennifer J. Hayes.
Jennifer, again, thank you so much for joining us for the podcast. It has been a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to the summit.
Absolutely. Everybody, this is Jennifer J. Hayes. We've been speaking to her about her role in the Restore Her virtual summit that's taking place March 1st through March the 7th, 2020. We have some awesome speakers that have decided to join us and share with you some of their information and some of their expertise in the 7 pillar areas for the Restore Her movement. We look forward to your being a part of that particular virtual summit, and we look forward to seeing you here again at 7 p.m. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.